Good afternoon. I'm Joe Pritchett, career counselor at your Salem Community College. This is the first in what we hope will be a series of roundtable discussions with industry leaders in multiple fields here in Salem County. Our goal is to assist those doing career exploration, and particularly due to COVID-19, the pandemic and all of its fallout, in learning more about the various career pathways available to our county's residents. Today, we're going to spend a few minutes discussing options in the construction trades and related fields. And I'd like to take a moment to thank and introduce our guests. Ben Laurie, owner of Ben's ProServe and director of Salem County's Board of Chosen Freeholders. Eric Chris, owner of Eric M. Chris Electrical Contractor. Julie Acton, executive director of the Salem County Improvement Authority. Peter Voros, master plumber with Voros Plumbing and Heating and chairman of the New Jersey Board of Examiners of Master Plumbers, and Tom Wysocki, founder and owner of Wysocki Electric. Thanks to all of you for joining us today.
For inviting us.
Yep.
Thank you.
So I want to give you each just a minute or so to do a brief introduction of yourself and your company and its specialty. Let's start with Pete.
Hello, everyone. November of last year, we celebrated our 50th anniversary in our plumbing, heating, cooling, and supply in Elmer, New Jersey. I've been in the field all my life, and I'm a third-generation plumber. My father and grandfather were plumbers. And we do everything from industrial to residential, commercial, municipal. We do it all. All the different areas need special licenses, and when you get into the state where you got municipal and schools, you need added licenses. But that keeps us pretty busy, and we have a workforce of 7 people.
All right. Thanks, Pete. Let's move on to Tom.
It's Wysocki Electric. We've been doing it since, I've been in the trade since '92. My 2 sons work for me in the field running projects. We do everything from small residential repairs to work for institutions like Salem Community College. Most of our work is multifamily residential or generators. That's us.
All right. Thanks, Tom. All right. How about you, Ben?
Also a third generation. The company I started with was Laurie Heating. That was 3 generations. I started a new company 3 years ago in the HVAC, electrical, and plumbing fields. I'm a graduate from Drexel University. I started in New Jersey Bell, and I didn't like the politics. I didn't mind the work, but the politics were crazy. So I went in the mechanical field, construction industry, where the rewards are better. What you work is what you get out of it. So I've been doing that for 45 years and have enjoyed it. Recently turned 65, starting to slope a little bit with my son and son-in-law coming into business. It's a great business.
Right. Thank you, Ben. And Julie, yours is a little different than the rest, but I want to hear what's going on at the Salem County Improvement Authority.
So the Salem County Improvement Authority, our charge is basically the waste needs of Salem County. So we have a convenience center, when we have the landfill, and we're here for the residents. In my former life, I was office manager for a landscaping company. So I have a lot of experience with union operators and equipment operators. So I have been here for 4 years, and hope I can bring something to the table in this meeting.
Right. Well, looking around this room, you know, at the rest of them, you definitely bring something they don't. And I want to welcome again, Eric, and introduce yourself.
I'm Eric, owner of Eric M. Chris Electrical Contractor, Salem County raised my whole life. I started my own business in 2009, so we're going on our 11th year. We do residential, commercial, and industrial, from service work to new construction and pole and line work. And as of today, we employ about 89 people.
All right. Very, very cool. As we enter into this next piece, I think might be a good idea if those of you whose work kind of overlaps might be able to work off of each other. So let's start with electrical. Talk to me a little bit about some of the types of jobs and careers one might be able to pursue in your field.
All right. In the electrical industry, I mean, like we said, we do residential, commercial, and industrial. So you could be in someone's house fixing something as small as a light switch to installing a generator or a service change or wiring a new house, all the way up to working on pole lights in a commercial setting or running rigid conduit or EMT in an industrial setting.
You know, we get involved with, the best part of our job is usually troubleshooting and solving problems and finding unique ways to do things, incorporating new technology into things people want to do in their homes or businesses. So it's definitely, it's not a field you grow tired of and bored with.
Yeah, it definitely changes day in and day out.
Sure. What kind of qualifications does someone need to work in your field?
Start out, we look for people who have good mechanical skills, people who know how to put tools together and when work safely and smart. And then from there, the more they can do, the more that their aptitude. We find people troubleshooting generators, performing solar repairs. A lot of it overlaps into IT and alarm work, so there's a little bit of computer-based stuff you have to know. It's kind of the good part about electricals work. If you like something, you can probably find a niche that suits what you like.
Yeah. Agree with Tom 100% on that. I mean, the sky's the limit. And then as far as once you get someone into the trade, there's plenty of trade schools. There's plenty of motor control classes, the Votex offering classes and stuff to keep expanding your career. So,
what kind of credentials would they expect to be chasing after?
Well, in the state of New Jersey, I mean, you don't really have to have any credentials right yet because they would work under either me or Tom or even Ben, whoever holds the electrical license. But they could go and get in a 4-year state-approved apprenticeship program and then, eventually get their journeyman and then their master's license.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. How about you, Pete? Do you and Ben overlap? I'm never quite sure what we're talking about here. You and Ben overlap at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
I'll let you two talk about your field.
Our field's wide open with if you want to get in a ditch and get dirty, or if you want to be a manager of a facility. A lot of facilities require a licensed plumber, like a prison or a large factory. The last guy who worked for me was fortunate enough to move on to Merck Pharmaceutical in Pennsylvania, I think Hatfield, and he's doing quite well with, he worked for me, got his license, and he's making a lot of money and doing, he doesn't get as dirty as he did when he worked with us because the pharmaceutical place he works at is as big as Elmer, the building, and they're always changing up the piping to do vaccines and medicine. So he's Mr. Clean now. He's got to be all dressed up and suited up, and they got to lock valves off, and it spends the whole day. Now, you want to get a job with a plumber, you're probably going to make between $8 and $10 an hour starting out. But once they see that you're handy and you can make it on time and you have a driver's license, you could be shooting up to $17 to $25 an hour right out of the gate. And then once you get your schooling, you have to go to school for 4 years. And that's 2 nights a week after work. And you have to work for a licensed plumber or HVAC person. Then you'll be eligible after working under a licensed plumber 1 more year. That's 5 total. You can sit for your exam and be a licensed master plumber and run your own business. And that's where the money comes. Okay. Otherwise, in the plumbing industry, if you are not tied into 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, if you're flexible with your hours, don't mind working nights and weekends, there's big money there.
And as far as our company, we handle all 3, the electrical, plumbing. I'll talk about the HVAC since that's probably our main focus and what I should be covering out of the 5 of us. I spoke to one of the mechanics the other day. I was talking to him. He says, I love my job. Every morning I start out with a clean canvas. I'm putting in a heater, I'm putting in an air conditioner, and by the end of the day, I have my masterpiece. The HVAC field encompasses not only just heaters and air conditioners, but that also incorporates wiring, that incorporates plumbing, that includes boilers, geothermal, gas, oil. So you have to be multifaceted. You got to know a lot of tools. I know one of the things that Votech is looking at is putting together a class that takes all the disciplines and just gives you a basic overview, what the tools look like, what the discipline looks like. Look if that is offered, and when it comes in, it's a great class to take in order to get a feel for what your aptitude is, what you like to do. So maybe you want to be an electrician, you're not sure. Maybe you want to be an HVAC guy or a plumber. At least take an overview and see what it looks like. When you come to apply for a job for me, if you have that basic knowledge of what a tool is in your industry, as Pete said, it doesn't take long to jump up in salary to get that money up there. Ben and Chris, you have 89 employees. You have managers. They probably make between $80,000 and $100,000 a year. 5-10 years of employment, you can be making $80,000 to $100,000 a year. It's a great industry. It's always steady. People always need heating, air conditioning, electrical, plumbing. When the COVID took off, a lot of industries closed. We were essential. We had at least 70% of our work still operating. So it's a great field to be in. You always have a job.
Good. All right. Thanks, gentlemen. All right. And then, Julia, what can you tell us about the types of jobs and careers that are in your specific field?
So in the landfill, we have laborers, and we always need them picking up litter, mowing. We have scale masters, and they are the ones who greet our customers. We have senior mechanics. We have landfill supervisors, and we have a lot of equipment operators. So it's a team effort. It's like a puzzle. You can't do one job without the other. It's a very honorable field, and it's easy to move up in the landfill in this organization. In fact, we just had a room for advancement. A scale master moved up to a equipment operator. So he passed his CDL. As Ben, or as you all said, the more education you get, the more you can advance. You have to be hardworking, team player, and now he's trained in 2 different areas. So he's scale master and equipment operator.
And the equipment operators, you said he got his CDL. So is that just the basic CDL, and that allows them to handle heavy equipment then?
Class B, yes.
Okay.
So the kind of machinery we run is like bulldozers, loaders, excavators, haul truck, or compactor, the mowers and the backhoes and the tarp machines. So we have quite a few pieces of equipment that they can run.
Good. All right. Thank you. Well, we'll throw it right back to you. Let you start this round. I was just wondering, what kind of opportunities do you see in your particular field, and maybe even more broadly with the equipment operators and things like that, both short term and long term, like in the next year or two? And then what does it look like 5-10 years down the road?
For availability, like for
how many? Yeah, I mean, are there good job prospects for that time period?
So there are some that are probably on the cusp of retiring. So I know that we're always looking for seasonal laborers or just laborers, and that's a good place to start. But as like Pete was saying, sometimes that's a part-time position, but if you hang in there long enough, you can go into full-time, and then also, do a good job, learn just different aspects of this authority. And then, there's quite a few different opportunities, I think, in the next 5 to 10 years with people retiring. This organization offers retirement benefits, health benefits, which if you don't think you make the salaries these other individuals are offering, you do have that kind of benefit. So you have to kind of weigh out that medical and retirement.
Very good. Thank you. How about our electricians? What do the job prospects look like in your field for the next, the short term, the long term?
Me and Tom are probably in the same boat. I mean, we need guys now, and I don't. In 11 years now with me, I mean, since we've been growing, I mean, we're always looking for guys. Always, even in a bad economy in 09, I mean, we were still growing. And electricians, the same as plumbers and HVAC, are always going to be needed. So even long term, I think it's going to be pretty strong.
Yeah, we're always hiring helpers. Eric and I are always hiring guys back and forth. The same guys are working for both of us sometimes. It'll be for me for a while, then to Eric, and back and forth. Everybody wants to improve their piece of what they can do and how they can grow, and they always look for more opportunity. And those are smart people looking to find, better plans for themselves. It's really about training. The more they learn, the more they know, the more valuable they are, the more it's worth to me to keep them and keep them happy and offer them benefits and whatever it takes to make them happy.
All right.
So we don't drive much of our work. Most of our work is driven by the construction industry and everything else happening out there. But we still, even when things are slow, we work for UPS, we work for the college, we work for other places that are steady. So there's a good bank of work, even when things slow down. So our prospects over the next 5 and 10 years, I think, are very strong.
And like Tom said, when new construction might slack off a little bit, maintenance will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. How about Ben and Pete?
Well, in our industry, there's always going to need people to do the work because there's no replacement. There's not going to be, not too soon anyway, no robots replacing us or different things like that. But definitely plumbing, heating, air conditioning. That's a great field to get in if you don't mind getting your hands dirty. And like I said before, if you're flexible with the hours, you can really be profitable about it.
Sorry about that, but I'll agree with everyone. The industry, especially the plumbing industry, and Pete will tell you, we go to these classes for continuing education. The plumbers are getting older. The average age is between probably 50 and 60. The young people are not getting into it, meaning it's wide open for construction. It's wide open for employment, and it's going to get harder and harder to find these people. So getting into the plumbing field, the HVAC field, you're always going to have a job, especially if you like what you do and you are good at what you do. Now, one of the things that Chris hasn't said, and I want to blow the horn for him.
I was just going to jump on that.
Yeah, he runs his own electrical school, and it's fantastic. I've been there. It's a school that teaches you right from the basics. And if you have the aptitude to be an electrician, what a great place to end up and to learn your trade. I want to preface that by saying if the VOTEC runs a school, if you come out of this class after an overview of your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical, and you say, I want to be an electrician, Chris is the place to go. Phenomenal. It's in Salem County. You're doing things local. Whether he hires you or Tom hires you or I hire you, there's a great opportunity, and you'll know what you're doing. Chris, thank you for what you do.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
And that does happen. We've got 2 guys on our roster right now, came right from Chris's program.
Well, one of the things that stands out to me today is the amount you guys give back to the community, the way you invest in Salem County. And I know that's a big piece in Salem County, and we just want to express our appreciation. We're getting close to the end of our time. I'm going to do the lightning round real quick. I'm going to throw out a few topics, and all I need from you, if this is a big thing in your industry, a thumbs up. If it's maybe not as much, but still somewhat important, a kind of a thumb sideways. And if you don't need it at all, thumbs down. All right. So a diploma or GED? Okay. The ability to learn to use new technology.
2 hands there.
Okay. Communication skills. And I'm going to give away my Colorado roots. Drug testing. Okay. All right. Very good. Anything any of you want to add as we close up? I appreciate your time, and I want to give you a chance to sign off, but give you a chance if you have anything else you want to add real quick.
Just a message to everybody that's watching this that's young. You might be able to get a job at Walmart or McDonald's and make more than you would starting out at one of these places. Then you're going to work harder at one of these places. But your room for advancement and financial gain is the sky's the limit. So don't fall into that trap where you're working part-time at a Walmart and you're happy that you're making $15 an hour, because in no time you could be making in the high 20s, low 30s with health benefits, retirement program, vacation, uniforms, if you play it smart.
I would just want to add work ethics. You got to come to work. Even if you don't like that job that is assigned to you, stick with it. Try to go above and beyond, but come to work every day.
I think everybody here, well, one of the problems we have as employers is we have to hire people with driver's licenses, valid driver's licenses, and we drug test. So, you know, important part of your resume should be that you have a valid driver's license, that you can pass the drug test.
And I'm going to agree with Julie. Work ethic, that's the biggest thing. We can grow off of that. We can teach you more. But if you have strong work ethic and you show up to work, we can build off of that. That's the most important thing.
Agreed.
I'm just happy to see that Salem County finally has the training facility for the trades. For years, it's been a desert of training for trades. And now that the VOTEC is teaching adults and college is turning towards an Eric's new program, it's a lot of opportunities for young people right now.
Agree.
Well, I appreciate all of your contribution today. In my role as career counselor at the college, I get the opportunity to talk to a lot of young people, both at the college and high schools in the county, about what might be out there for them. And I want you to know that I'm, especially when I'm working with the high school students, I'm definitely promoting the kinds of work you guys are doing to help them think a little bit outside the norm, outside the box in today's economy. So thanks so much for your time. It was good to meet all of you, and we'll do this again at some point not too far down the road.